everybody. A very good afternoon. With the show of hands, how many average students here who consider yourself average? Let me take you a little back in time. I was in my 8th standard and I was so average that I didn't even know how much did I really score in my 7th standard because it was immaterial to me. I had no confidence on my academic records at all. I was just scraping through all my exams because I had to and there was a lot of pressure. It was that 8th standard where I fortunately ended up meeting a faculty of mine who for some reason took a lot of academical interest in me. She would make sure that I'm sitting right next to her while she's teaching, and she would make sure that I've understood most of the things that she was trying to teach us. It was that small nudge by her, a small impact that she created in my life that I started believing that I was good at academics. My 8th, 9th, 10th standard, academically, I started topping my math and science paper, which I still don't believe if I look back. It was actually because of her that I ended up scoring decently well in my 10th standard and got through something called as computer science in the 11th grade, which back in 2001 was a very sought after and only privileged students would kind of get through those subjects. I was running in confidence that I was great at academics and just wanted to make sure that I do extraordinarily well in my 11th and 12th standard. But here is where my life changed. It was my 12th standard and somebody like me was expected to probably do a 95% score in physics, chemistry and maths, which we call as PCM. I got sub 50% in my PCM, but that's not the story. The story is that the few selected students who got computer science as a subject and flaunt around, I actually failed my computer science subject. Had it not been for the college, who graciously gave me some grace marks in my practicals, I would have really failed my 12th standard. It was actually for the college to really push me and help me clear my 12th. That is when I started doubting myself, that the confidence that I really got from my 8th standard, 9th standard and 10th standard academics, do I really have that or do I really even deserve it? I don't know if it was my overconfidence, my ego, my herd mentality, but in spite of scoring what I did, I went to my father because my friends got a motorcycle. I went to my father and told my father, I want you to buy me a bike. And he said something that I still can't remember, which shaped me into what I am today, is what have you done in life to deserve the motorcycle? That actually created the first ripple in my head when I told myself that I will one day buy it on my own, even if my father does not buy one for me. Life had to move on. Somehow I managed to get through an engineering college. That's a story in itself separately. In the first year of my engineering, 5 subjects, I failed in 4. And this time the college was not gracious enough to pass me with grace marks. I actually failed. Life had to move on. I had to decide what I really wanted to do. And one thing was sure, that I could not continue with my engineering because I never related to what was happening. But the confidence that I had got in my 8th, 9th, 10th standard academically, that made me more competitive. And I would start competing with my friends and ecosystem close by in terms of marks that we were scoring academically. So I saw my friends were moving ahead in life. And the confidence that academics gave me was exactly the reason I was pulled back in life because of the way my 12th and engineering first year went. So I decided that I'll quit engineering and move to BSc Math to graduate. But I had two things that were running in my mind at that time. First, I had to buy a bike. Second, I was already a little behind my contemporaries, my friends that I was in my head competing with to scale ahead in my career. Because of the drawback that I got because of my 12th in engineering, I had decided that I'll have to do something with my BSc Math to make sure that I'm at least at par with my friends who are slightly ahead because of my academical setback. Is where along with BSc Math, I decided that I join a BPO. 3 years while I was graduating, along with colleges, I would work whole night in the BPOs and the KPOs that I was a part of. And that eventually, now that I talk to you, I can so resonate that was amongst the best decisions that unintentionally worked out brilliantly well for me. Not only that I got the bike because I started earning, but I also professionally got a lot of confidence from there, is because before I could graduate, I had a team of 60 people reporting into me. That gave me the confidence that probably the setback was temporary that I had because of my academics, and I've moved on to the next orbit in my life and I can do something really well. But I could not make a career in what I was doing, and I had to actually move out, step in the real world now that I'm a graduate and start doing something. With a lot of hard work, I moved on to become one of the youngest non-promoter executive directors of any listed NBFC in the country today. But the story didn't end there, because like fate might have it, things are not always easy in life. At the peak of my career, I went into a lockerhead with the founders of the organization on something that had to do with ethics. So at the peak of my career, I had to actually decide whether do I really want to stick and make a career, or select ethics and start all over again. Now I would say it is fortunate of me that I decided that I don't want to compromise on my ethics, and I quit that job at the peak of my career. I absolutely had no idea what am I going to do next, but I did quit. Now that I stand here and talk to all of y'all, I really want to tell y'all one very interesting thing, that today, it's been 2 decades that I've been working. In the last 2 decades, I've seen academical challenges, failures. I've seen struggle to make an impact in the real professional world. I've been asked to quit at the peak of my career. But when I look back at the last 2 decades of my journey, with 3 failed startups, 2 times going bankrupt, losing my vision a lot of times, losing my path, I can always tell you there is always this guiding light at the back of your head that keeps telling you to go on, and you should go on. Today when I look back, my learning that I really want to share with all of y'all today is never give up. The smaller things that you do in life are the small things that add up, creating a very big impact in your life, which you will not realize while you are doing those smaller things. Anybody here who today thinks entrepreneurship is easy? I have a small advice. Today, thankfully, for all the ups and downs that I've gone through life, I have believed, lived, and experienced that every time a door shuts on you, there is a bigger opportunity that opens up for all of y'all. I stand today here with confidence. With all the ups and downs in my life today, managing 2 businesses and 170 people that I employ, I can tell you only one thing in life: never give up. Can I request all of y'all here to close your eyes for a moment and experience what I want you to experience? Close your eyes. Imagine yourself on a very calm beach, a serene beach. You are extremely calm, composed, sipping onto some liquid, enjoying the sun. Do you all see those ripples in the ocean or the water in front of you? Those ripples are nothing but the smaller things that you've done in life that you don't even know whether will it work for you or not. Those are the small ripples which are so independent of each other. That ripple or those ripples are the one that ends up creating a wave, but ultimately merges into the ocean. That is what your decision or the ripples make you the ocean over a period of time. Don't open your eyes. Stay with me, close your eyes, come back to the shore. Do you all see those small water puddles there, which are not a part of the ocean, small, isolated ones? Those are the decisions that at some point in time in your life, you always thought that you wanted it to work for you. But today, now when you look back, you know those puddles are not a part of you, but you are still a very large ocean, and those puddles are too small. Let's come back to reality. Open your eyes. What we are today is the reason of a lot of small, intentional and unintentional ripples or things that you do in life that creates a wave and impact to make you an ocean that you are today. Let me tell you what I'm trying to say, reconnecting back to my story. What's a ripple effect? Ripple effect is nothing but smaller intentional and unintentional steps that you take in life that make the wave and make you the ocean that you are. You all remember the bike story about my dad that I told you? When my bike was not delivered, or my father said that I'm not going to give you the bike, I knew my father could afford the bike. I felt really bad, disrespected. And I was asking myself as to why did my father not buy me a bike then? Today when I look back, I thank him enough for not letting me get carried away, getting me a bike, because had he not, or had he bought me the bike then, I would really have not been able to understand the self-worth that I have today and take action to get that bike. For my father, this was an intentional ripple. He had the money, he could have given it to me. But that intentional ripple created a wave in me, and I am an ocean today because of that small ripple which was intentional by my father. But there are a lot of unintentional ripples. My idea of joining the call center, along with my BSc Math exams, was for 2 reasons, like I said. I wanted a bike, and I was competing with my contemporaries who I thought went ahead in life. In those 3 years, I got opportunity to talk to global clients. I got team management experience when I was interacting with the team. I also got an opportunity to train that team and motivate them because I was responsible for what they do as a team. Now when I look back, the reason why I can stand here and talk to all of you all is because of that early conditioning that I got at the BPO. It was an unintentional ripple. I didn't know that what was happening there would lead to what part of my life. Same was with what happened when I quit at the peak of my career. Did I know what am I going to do? I had absolutely no idea. But the confidence that I had, because of the ups and downs that I had in the life, I moved on to create something. But that creation happened because of an unintentional ripple that happened in my life. What I want to leave all of you all with a thought is that my life is nothing but a testimony of how intentional and unintentional ripples that you cannot quantify today will add up over a period of time, create a wave and make you an ocean, but you have to continue. Can I request all of you all to please appreciate all the ripples in your life? Don't ask for immediate results. Let those results compound, and one day you, the ocean, will appreciate the small ripples intentionally and unintentionally that got created in your life. Thank you so much.